Haven't I given enough? Haven't I suffered enough? How much more are you going to take from me? Hello, and welcome to Portrait of a Ghost. If you're new here, hi, I'm Voyia. I play a variety of games. If you ever want me to play something, please don't hesitate to ask. I am feeling pretty gosh darn good today. And so I wanted to kind of take a tiny little break and maybe play something soothing. And I know that's weird saying I'm going to play something soothing and I'm playing a game about a man who can capture spirits with his camera. Yeah. So anyways, let's get started. Oh, and if you're new here, it would mean the world to me if you consider joining our family, liking the video, commenting something cool. I don't know. Comment something you did today. Even if it was just like, I didn't do anything today. Just comment that. I don't care. Now, let's get started. Part 1. How to profit off of grief. Well, I don't think that's what most people think of, but okay. Right. This way, madam. Please, make yourself comfortable. You know, you say make yourself comfortable, but I'm not very comfortable. Why don't we have a chat before we begin? Tell me more about your dear husband. Also, I turned down the music so it wouldn't blast y'all ears out, but I definitely didn't turn it down for myself. There, yes. Bless his poor soul. In the modest sitting room with curtains open to the afternoon sun, the window perched like a shadow in the arms of a pushed velvet seat. Plushed, excuse me, I said pushed, but plush. With her veil pulled back from her head, delicate fingers clutching the handkerchief she brought repeatedly to her large, sorrowful eyes. Oh, soon as she lost her husband, she made the perfect image, picture perfect, of the poor grieving soul that the gentleman sitting before her so often received. She is pretty. Now, this game was made by somebody whose other game I played for my channel. I will tag the game somewhere, either at the end of the video or in the beginning of the video, but either way, I would tag the game in the video or whatever. But I played another one of their games that was just so beautiful, so delicate, so soft that I was just infatuated with the art. And even in this one, the art is still beautiful. A poet might have described her glistening eyes as deep pools of wretched misery or oceans that had no end. But Arthur's Hope was not a poet. His only observation about this woman's face was his hope that she wouldn't burst into tears during the sitting. Arthur made his living off of grief, of course, but dealing with the grieving was a rather tiresome facet of his profession. As the widow went on about her poor deceased lover, his gentle and charitable nature, and so on, he carefully prodded her, now and again, about the man's gentle features, forming an image in his head of how best to shape his next creation. A young man with lion's mane of bright hair, average height, deep-set eyes. He is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I'd be sad too if my lover died. I'm sure I have a plate matching the description somewhere. It's a good thing I had that wig handy. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a real picture to take first. There are so many things I wish I had said to him. Oh, he told me not to worry, but I'm sure he was a wonderful man, madam. I'm so sorry once again for your loss. You know, I always tell my clients I can never guarantee when my camera might capture a spirit, but today I feel almost certain he might be in the room with us. Why don't we take your picture now and see for ourselves? Oh, yes, of course. Make yourself at home. I'll be right back. Center your subject within the frame. Okay. Like, do I have to press something? Oh, okay. It's upside down. Is it supposed to be upside down? Oh, I have to move it. Oh, again, is it supposed to be upside down? That should leave enough space to add a spirit. Are you adding spirits? Oh, he's a terrible person. We're ready to begin. Please stay still until I tell you when the exposure is complete. Yes. If you're here, my darling, please show yourself. Please. Arthur Hope hadn't always been a charlatan. Once he had been Arte, a shy and painfully honest boy with angelic blue eyes and a limitless imagination. He spent every chance he could in his uncle's library, losing himself in tales of monsters and terror. They were never so frightening as the real world around him, he could honestly say. Honesty, however, would rarely turn out to help him. Honesty had not stopped his uncle's cane, nor his withering looks. It did not protect him from his schoolmates' vicious pranks, nor impress his teachers. Gray, hollowed man with thinning hair and thick spectacles. At the various boarding schools that always inevitably sent him back home. It hadn't been his fault. One had simply closed due to the unfortunate scarlet fever outbreak. No, it was a liar's world, and by the time Arthur Hope first found himself behind the lens of his late uncle's sliding box camera, he built, well, if not a kingdom of lies, then at least a barony. At just shy of 30, his schemes had brought him an unsteady income and the regards of a handful of influential friends, few of whom knew his background or how much he truly borrowed from them. Arthur's uncle had taken up photography late in his life, and having no family save for his troublesome nephew, had left the young man the aging house he turned into his studio along with small fortune and equipment after his death. But even he could not resist the allure of a burgeoning technology that was so much like magic, capturing light through a mechanical eye, preserving an image of the world, a single moment in time. It was something just like the tales of mystery he grew up on. The ability to capture his own likeness was, of course, its own draw. He had a fair face, he was not shy to admit it, and would like a reminder of it should he ever have the misfortune of living a long life. Carefully, he slid the plate holder out from the camera's wooden frame. A pile of discarded glass plates and blurry album prints sat on the table beside him, the fruit of his early attempts. I have a good feeling about this one. Let's get you to the dark room, shall we? It was as the print formed in the early afternoon sun that Arthur Hope saw his uncle's ghost in the frame beside him. Ooh. That would have scared the crap out of me. Spirit caught on camera? Yeah, that would have terrified me. Oh, spirit caught on camera. Okay. What's this? Photographer captures ghostly image. Photographer shocks the world. Okay. And spirit photography. The man behind the camera. Are spirits all around us? Ghost photographer Arthur H. Hope claims to have the answer. Well, Arthur, this is going to get you some clientele. I don't know. Like, they want me to set it up so the pictures are aligned, but I don't want to cover said image. Like, let's put this like boom here. Then this one a little closer. This one could be a little out of frame. Why am I moving this around like I'm an actual photographer? Okay. It was only after a sleepless night of waiting for a spirit to accost him, then furiously rifling through his uncle's equipment, that he realized he made a simple and perfectly ordinary mistake. Photographic plates have to be cleaned very thoroughly to remove any imprint left behind by the previous negative. Arthur, an amateur, had not done so. Thus, a trace of one of his uncle's self-portraits remained on the glass plate he'd used for his own. Ah. So that's an honest mistake. I would just claim it to be that alone, an honest mistake. But the fact that the image had lined up so perfectly was nothing short of a miracle. A miracle that sparked the idea for a brand new, lucrative story in Arthur's mind. It's him. Oh, my darling. I knew you were with me all this time. Thank you, Mr. Hope. Thank you. He looks so peaceful. I don't know what to say. Overwhelmed, the widow began to sob. Arthur patted her back gently. I can earn more if I make them come back for a sitting or two before I give them a spirit. But God, I felt sorry for her this time. I'm growing soft. Not at all, madam. It brings me joy to know you have a guardian spirit watching over you even beyond the grave. I can be at peace now. Thank you. Please, take this. She handed him a stack of crisp banknotes, far more than he agreed upon some. I can't possibly, madam. I insist. Huh. Not a bad use of time after all. He is a terrible con man. Part 2, Portrait of a Girl. Oh boy. Late in the evening, a knock came to Arthur's door. The widow had been his last appointment of the day, but it was all too common for unwanted visitors to arrive long after closing. Sometimes it was the press, sometimes an angry septic, sometimes a wretched, grieved soul who would beg for his charity. Arthur. Ignore it. Head to the door. I'm going to save real quick. So I'm going to ignore it top to bottom. As always, y'all know how I do this. I'm going to start top and work my way to the bottom. He got up only to stretch, then returned to his desk where his correspondence was piled. More requests to travel for sittings. It's high time I open a separate studio. But perhaps it'd be better to leave this town entirely first. His thoughts were interrupted by another knock, and soon another. Perhaps I should at least see who it is. Arthur crept down the staircase to the entryway of the old house and quietly approached the door. He carefully looked through the spy hole. Stood there in the rain was a girl. She didn't seem to have an umbrella or raincoat. It was a miracle she wasn't drenched thoroughly. Perhaps she arrived by carriage? But Arthur hadn't heard one approaching, and none were stopping in the street. It's a spirit. Oh my goodness, it's a spirit. Okay, it's happening. They're starting to come now. It's scary now. Once more, she rapped on his door. Arthur wondered how long she's been standing there. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even answer the door. He decided to let's ignore her. Arthur stepped back from the door, but once more the knock came, growing more desperate. Arthur. Perhaps she needs help. Ugh, I hate to get involved, but it wouldn't do me good to become known as letting some poor soul catch her death in the rain. With some hesitation, Arthur swung the door open. Can I help you, miss? In the gloom of the rain, lit with only the light coming from the hall, the young woman was surprisingly lovely. She looked about 20, with a face so fair she could have been a porcelain doll, if not for the deep brown eyes that stared with such vivid intensity from behind her dark lashes. Locks of her chestnut hair spilled from the bonnet trimmed with wide ribbon and silk roses. Her gown was made of rich green satin and fine white lace. She looked expensive, yet at least a decade out of style. So maybe she's like some walkaway, some stowaway or something, I don't know. The girl clearly came from money, but it seemed that she or her guardians had dated tastes. Are you a photographer? Her voice was soft, but did not betray any nervousness. Her brown eyes stared right at him almost. Arthur felt straight through him. Well, yes, but my friends call me Arthur. I don't wish to become your friend, sir. But if you are indeed who you say you are, then I require your service. Making demands straight away, huh? Definitely a rich lass, perhaps even highborn. In that case, best to hear her out. What can I do for you, miss? You're the photographer, are you not? I need you to take my picture. I'd be happy to make an appointment with you, miss, but can't guarantee a spirit will appear. I don't want anyone or anything else in the photograph. I just need my picture taken. A likely story. She wouldn't be the first to ask for a simple ordinary sitting while secretly hoping for a ghost to appear. Well, I'm fully booked for quite a while, but I'll be happy to arrange a sitting. You have no one with you now, so why can't you take my picture? Miss, it's late. Lamplights make for poor image, and I have to wait until daylight to make the print in any case. May I also emphasize how inappropriate it is for a young lady to call upon a man uninvited after dark? Look at him trying to be all noble and act like he actually cares. You just trying to make a quick buck, sir. Please, one picture. It's all I ask. Please, I've been waiting so very long. I should hear her out, send her away. Top to bottom, of course, hear her out. Can I at least ask why you need a photograph so badly? There's somebody I must send my picture to. Somebody who I haven't seen in a very long time who needs to see how I look now. How I've changed. There are plenty of other studios that could accommodate you. None of them would open their doors to me. None of them are like you. There truly is nobody in this world like you, sir. Why do I feel like this is a ghost? I feel like she is a ghost. Well, if there's anything I can't resist besides a large purse, it's flattery. And let's admit it, That sweet face isn't an easy one to refuse. Being around sobbing fools all day really has turned me soft. Fine, you've convinced me. Please, step this way, miss. Edith. Edith Harper. Well, at least we got a name now. Can I offer you any tea? None, thank you. Please, can we hurry? As you wish. Alright, let's drag the thing until we find Edith. Okay, we're getting somewhere. There she is. About right there? A little bit lower, maybe? No, a little bit higher. I usually have to wait till it like does it on its own. Here. I can see Edith, but I didn't mean to do that. I guess I'll save. Okay. If y'all only knew how long that took. We'll need more candles. I can't get an image like this. Technology is awfully inconvenient. You could have come by during daylight, you know. Well, let's hope this helps more. Wait, where did she go? Are you ready yet? Uh-oh. Yes, we can begin now. What's come over me? First I let some arrogant, ill-mannered girl walk over me like a carpet, and now I'm seeing things? 59, 60, done. You can move now, miss. Is that all? Good. I'll go prepare the plate now. But again, you have to come back tomorrow for the print, Miss Harper. I open at... I'll visit you the same time tomorrow evening. Good night, sir. Wait. Arthur stopped her, concerned. No, he didn't. He let her go. Let's stop her concern. Do you need me to call you a carriage? It's awfully rainy. Oh, that's sweet of you, but decorum isn't necessary. You don't have to act concerned for me. She smiled a little sadly, but quickly turned her back and again headed for the doorway. I'll be back soon. Good night. Disregarding his protest, she slipped from the room, through the entryway and out the front door into the rainy night. She didn't even ask to borrow an umbrella. Damn it. I forgot to discuss payment too. Well, hopefully she brings enough with her tomorrow. Now, I have to get the plate ready before it dries. But after that, perhaps I'll retire early. It certainly has been an interesting night. Well, yeah, that was very creepy. Let's not ever do that again. Okay, all right. That night, Arthur Hope had strange dreams. Part 3, Phantoms. A chilled wind rocked the house, rapping against the walls. Figures crept around the edges of Arthur's vision, flickering like flame, hovering like moths. A weight covered his entire body. He could not shift or twist his limbs. The blankets engulfing him felt like earth packed with stones. Heavy, cold, damp. Something wiggling under his cloth, creeping up his neck, over the sides of his cheeks, into his eye sockets. What is that sound? Oh my God. I don't even know if y'all can hear that, but I haven't turned down the, oh my God. I haven't turned down anything but the music. See? The rest of the sound is up. Ew. Another crawled into his open mouth, slithering down his windpipe. He tried to scream, but not a sound came. His jaw was locked in place. His lungs were still. More wraithing things engulfed him. Ugh. Eating at his flesh, digging between his bones. Arthur jerked violently out of bed, gasping. Cold air filled his lungs, bringing him back to the waking world. He rubbed his eyes, then struck a match and lit a candle at his bedside table. The flame danced as he lifted it gingerly in the dark. No use trying to go back to sleep after that. Water first, then I'll head to the study and read. Oh no. Please, 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 don't scare me. Don't scare me, okay? I just wanted a gentle game. What? Hello? The studio's closed. A noise rang in the dark. Arthur listened. Sure, it must have been the rain on the roof or the shutter against the windows. The studio is closed. Please go away. The studio is closed. The sound was too close to come from outside. No, it was more like footsteps, footfalls, the creaking of a floorboard. Good Lord, did someone break in while I was asleep? Quietly, Arthur reached beside his bed for the familiar weight of his uncle's cane, then carefully, cautiously stood up. Oh no. What creepy thing has broken in this time? Hello? Oh my God. They want me to look around. Oh no, I didn't mean to skip. Get a hold of yourself, Art. A burglar is nothing. You've dealt with worse. Okay. Hello? The studio is closed. What is that? What is these bright lights? Still nothing. Ugh. This pounding in my chest. It's all thanks to that blasted dream. Please don't scare me. Hello? Please, the studio is closed. Hello? I know you're there. Come out. Nothing. Did I imagine it? I'm sure I heard a sound. Huh? What is that? What is that? What is that? The sound came again, but thicker, heavier, clunking along the wooden floorboards. Please. The studio is... I'm not taking photos. Arthur continued through the house, heartbeat growing faster, louder, more erratic with every step. His grip never left the hefty weight of the wooden cane. I'll teach you to never lie to me again, boy. I didn't. I swear it. Then who left it out in the rain? This book is worth more than your sorry hide. But the cane seemed to grow heavier in his hand, then warmer, then white hot like a flame. Arthur jerked and dropped it from his hand. It landed on the floorboards with a thud. He brought his searing hands to the candlelight. It was burnt straight through the bone. Jesus, how fast did the cane heat up? That's crazy. Leaving ruin, melted flesh on his blackened skeleton. Fire engulfed his body. His skin melted from his flesh, crisping and charring. He let go of the candle, screaming. The tiny flame licked at the wood and set it alight. Everything turned to smoke and fire and dust. Arthur tried to run, to scream again, but black smoke filled his lungs. Are we dead? Oh, that sucks if we are. His body felt like it was buried in earth. Hot, burning earth. Nothing was left of him now but bone and ash. And then there was nothing left at all. Nothing but darkness. And the sound of that infernal cane. Arthur's hopes remained curled up on the floor, writhing like an insect, uttering pitiable, choking cries that sputtered into rasping gasps. And there, as he laid on the floor, in the corner of his eyes, blurry, barely visible, like a photographic negative, an after image, a phantom. A figure stood, ghostly white. Ooh, that scared me. I don't know why that scared me. Maybe it's because it flashed on the screen. See? Like it flashes on the screen like that. Plus it's loud in my ear. You guys can't hear it. Part 4. Portrait of a Ghost. Arthur Hope awoke at dawn in his bed. He lay silently, heart still racing as the faint ruby light traced his face. He breathed in, then out. In, then out, slowly, until his heartbeat steadied. Then he gingerly sat up and rubbed his eyes. I haven't had dreams like that since the old man. Well, not in a long time. He felt beside his bed. The familiar, terrible weight of that old wooden cane rested in the same spot it always did. A quick look in the mirror as he dressed confirmed that his body and skin remained intact and unburned. And he was none the worse for wear, save for a dark shadow blooming around his eyes. That's called bags, honey. That morning, he skipped his usual per usual of the paper and crept up to his study, unearthing a pen and ink and an old journal for his drawer instead. Familiar old handwriting and scribbles peeked out from the pages. Why am I so shaken up that I returned to this? It's a shame no one invented a camera that can capture dreams yet. But I suppose then there would be no need for poets. The hours passed by, yet the previous night had left him in such a daze that it was only after he sent off his tearful client in the late afternoon did Arthur remember the strange girl and the odd request. Damn it, it's cloudy out, but there should be enough light to get a print. Arthur carefully set the glass plate in the printing frame, secured a sheet of albumin paper. I guess he's gonna try to, get her to see a ghost or something like that. But again, she says she doesn't want anything or anyone in the picture with her. So maybe like trying to show her that there's something in the picture with her might be a bad idea. Then close the case and set it back on the windowsill. Now to let it sit. It was as the last rays of sun were faded that Arthur Hope pulled the image from the frame and stared straight into the face of a corpse. Oh God. Her again. What in the... The negative looked fine when I put it in. Did I expose it to the wrong plate? But none of my ghosts look like this. That girl, Edith. She must have tampered with it. Why? What does she want with me? We ain't letting Edith in this time. I don't care if it's the first or the last. We not letting Edith in. A familiar rapping came at the door. Arthur stared at the doorway with a sick feeling in his chest. No, he certainly did not. Nope. We're not answering the door. Knock all you want, Edith. Get out of here. Arthur waited for the sound, the infernal sound, to stop. He buried his head in his arms. I've had enough of this. Enough! Gradually, the tapping softened, then slowed. Finally, it felt silent. Arthur breathed a deep sigh, then quickly got up and peeked through the spy hole. I almost keep saying peephole. Okay, we call it peephole here. Nobody was there. No girl in green satin. Not a single soul. Arthur gritted his teeth and turned away. Oh my God. Why are you so upset? Look, I got scared too, Arthur. The girl stood in his sitting room, wore no bonnet or day dress. Dirt and soil and damp, dark stains clung to her bare feet and rotted, ruined nightgown. I knew it was a ghost. The moment it came through the door, I knew it was a ghost. Her skin clung to her flesh in patches, pieces of it eaten away and rotten to the bone. Her long hair was matted in thick tangles. Her eyes were gaping hollows. Someone of your profession certainly startles easily. Miss Harper? What do you want? This isn't funny. Oh my God, look at her face. Certainly not. I'd like my photograph, please. What kind of trick is this? You're the ghost photographer, are you not? Isn't that why you agreed to take my picture? You're a ghost? You expected me to be among the living? Oh God, her eye disappeared. I just looked over at her. Her eye is gone. Well, perhaps proper introductions are in order. My name is Edith Emmeline Harper. I died in an accident 11 years ago. I'll spare you the details, but in short, I found it rather upsetting that my body still hasn't been discovered. So, when I heard about you, I decided to take matters into my own hands. You expect me to believe any of this? Is this new to you? I thought you were more of a worldly type. See for yourself then. What is she gonna do? Edith reached out towards him. Arthur jerked back, but the girl did not flinch. She gently lifted a filthy hand to his face. Arthur waited for the feeling of rotten flesh, but the girl's skin was smooth and cold, ice cold, far too cold and still to belong to something living. Look at this image. Oh my God, this looks insane. As her bony fingers lingered on his face, he felt his own skin grow colder, tingling until it felt like something was crawling beneath it. That's enough. Fine. You're dead. So, what does a ghost want with me then? I want you to send that photograph to my brother. The stupid fool thinks I ran off with some man. Me, eloped. Honestly. Tell him to look for me near the old chapel where we used to play. Why don't you tell him yourself? Why hunt me? Very few people can see or hear ghosts, Mr. Hope. And of them, well, let's just say that few murderers end up as professional photographers. Okay. That makes me question something, but I'm gonna keep quiet and to let the game tell it itself. But if it does come up again, just know, pick up that phone because I called it. Wait, did you say? Okay. There was only one thing in common between the people who could see and hear me, Mr. Hope. They all killed before. Okay. There it is. That's what I was like, ooh, what? What did she mean by that? He killed his uncle, didn't he? Oh, Arthur. Bad, or his dad. Whichever one. Whoever was talking like reckless to him in that dream or whatever. He took him out. Part 5, Memento. Okay, we're gonna get to something really good. I am so excited. Like, part of me is like, oh, I should wait, but I'm already on part 5, so I don't know how many parts it is. Arthur Hope wasn't always a charlatan. Once, he'd been a penniless young man struggling to make an honest living, and often had to supplement his income through other means. Ooh. He was throwing that butt back. I'm sorry. Look, I gotta make it light a little bit. When one day, a letter arrived for him from his elderly uncle, requesting his assistance around the household due to the old man's ailing health. Young Art packed a few belongings and headed to what he hoped would be a welcome reunion. That hope would quickly be dashed. I never killed anyone. I didn't kill him. I didn't mean to. He had half a foot in a grave already, so I didn't. Arthur. I just wanted to scare him. He deserved that much. He treated me like dirt my entire life. And then when he called me to his sick bed, I thought maybe he'd apologize to me. Just once. But no. The old man wanted to cut me out of his will. Me, his only flesh and blood. Just to spite me. He knew that I had nothing. He knew that money was the difference between life or death. But all he wanted was to spit in my face at the end. What else could I have done? Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Look at you. You're alive, aren't you? So long as you're alive, you can change. You can claw yourself out from whatever hell you've built. It's only us ghosts who have to be stuck in the past. Yet, you've been hunted all this time, haven't you? It's done. I signed it in your name, so you'll be sure to open it. Thank you. Arthur Hope carefully placed the sealed envelope into his coat pocket and dusted himself off. His possessions, most of the things that belonged to his uncle, rather, had all been sold and given away. Pale daylight filtered through the curtains onto the almost empty room. The house felt like a ghost of itself. Arthur picked up his worn leather suitcase, packed with a few belongings he first arrived with long ago, and checked that the envelope was still in his pocket. Then He walked down the empty hall. He stopped when he saw the familiar shape of the wooden cane resting against the wall. He briefly picked it up, feeling its weight, ran his fingers along the aged surface, then sighed and set it down again. He walked out the front door without looking back, a figure only he could see trailing behind him. What will you do? Start over. Or try to. I need time to sort out all my messes. Time away from here. It's not like I have anything tying me to this place. I do wonder, though, if a ghost exists, why didn't the old man ever hunt me? Perhaps he had no reason to stay. Ghosts aren't internal. They fade away, just like people do. Like I will too, is what it sounds like she wants to say. Arthur exited the post office and decided to walk to the harbor. The air was cool and damp. He carefully stepped over puddles left behind from the rain, weaving between passerbys. People rushing here and there without any break in their monotone lives. But at least they were alive. What will you do? What I've done for the past decade, I suppose. Wander around, see the sights, watch my brother and my niece. Wait until I get sick of the living world, then see what lies beyond. I see. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Yes, for now at least. Everybody dies, you know. Perhaps I'll see you again sooner than you think. Farewell, Edith. As the ship pulled away from the harbor, Arthur spotted a familiar face amongst the passengers on deck. The lady that we met in the beginning, the widow. Mr. Hope, is that you? Madam, what brings you here? I'm returning home to see my family. I know my dear Samuel wouldn't want me to be all by myself. What about you? I'm doing some traveling. Oh, just a moment. You have a bit of dust on your shoulder. As the young woman's attention was diverted, Arthur deftly slipped a wad of banknotes into her pocket. I wish you all the best, madam. You as well, Mr. Hope. Take care. As the widow walked off, Arthur turned and gazed out at the sea. The sky had cleared, and sunlight now sparkled on the crashing waves. He stared out at the shore, and the thought he could see, for a moment, a flash of green standing on the harbor. 1 second, y'all. But the next moment it was gone. Finn. Now, I don't know how many endings it is in here, right? Arthur H. Hope would be arrested and convicted of fraud charges within the next 5 years. He never could change his old habits. He was unable to complete his sentence, however, as his health would quickly worsen. Wow. That's so messed up. He succumbed to consumptions in the matter of months. His last words were supposedly a name, Edith. Coincidentally, it would be a Miss Edith Amy Harper who would compile the poems he written during his short imprisonment and publish them. Wow. Like, if y'all saw my face right now, my jaw has dropped. Like, I thought that he was on the up and up. I thought that he was going to turn his life around, settle down, get a wife and some kids, and I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think that he would continue doing the same stuff, get charged with fraud, and then die in prison. Okay. Yet nobody could figure out in the end just how he made his ghost appear in the photographs. Or if they were real all along. Ending 3. Okay. Since we know there are 3 endings, I'm gonna go look on the thing. Can extras tell me maybe? Gallery, maybe? Okay, unlock ending 4 to view. More games, credits, join our newsletter. Okay, so I wish I had something to tell me how many endings it was, but I'm gonna probably have to go and look on their page or whatever and see if maybe I can find some of the endings. So let's go back in. I'm gonna try to get some more endings. So this time I'm gonna head to the door and see what happens. I'm sure it's nothing, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna open the door and we're going to send her away. Let's see what happens. I think I've made my answer clear, miss. Good day. Please. Arthur slammed the door closed. Didn't think he would slam the door. He waited there for a moment, perhaps out of some small sense of remorse for leaving a desperate girl alone in the rain, but no further knocking came. Perhaps I could have offered her an umbrella, but she didn't ask, and it isn't my concern anyway. Sparing one final glance at the door, he turned his back and retreated up the staircase to study once more. Terrible person. He's just a terrible person, period. Time passed, and Arthur soon forgot about his strange visitor. Right this way, Mr. Harper. Can I offer you any tea? None, thank you. Of course. Did you bring a guest with you for a sitting? What? No, I came alone. Then, who was that? Well, never mind. Ending 1. Okay. Memento Mori. So we're here where it says, hours passed by, yet Arthur found himself in such a daze. It would not let me skip past it. I'm assuming this is something different, so. That he could barely focus as he lined up shot after shot and prepared plate after plate. A strange night. Old memories. A strange yet stunning girl. It was late afternoon by the time Arthur realized he'd forgotten to do what the same girl who so occupied his mind had asked of him. Damn it, it's cloudy out, but there should be enough light to get a print. Arthur carefully set the glass plate in the printed frame, secured a sheet of aluminium paper against it, then closed the case and set it back by the windowsill. So this is all the same though. It wouldn't let me skip it, so I don't know. So it won't let me skip past this either. So hopefully this is something new. It felt like gripping ice. Oh, he's holding her hand this time. Look. The first time he didn't touch her hand at all, but now he's holding her hand. Okay. The longer he held, the more his own skin grew cold, numb, and then prickled like something was crawling beneath it. That's enough. Fine. Fine. You're dead. So this is the same. Let's keep going. Say, can ghosts travel? So wouldn't let me skip past this part. Far away from where they died, I mean. I don't know. I can't say I've ever tried. Well. Okay, I'm gonna save. We can drop the subject or we can ask her would she like to. So I'm gonna ask her would she like to. Would you like to join me? I mean, countless years without anyone to talk to sounds awfully dull. I thought you said you had enough of ghosts. Fake ghost. Metaphorical ghost. Not the real thing. Well, I suppose I had better keep an eye on you. Who knows what trouble you dig yourself into? And you are far better company than some of the serial killers I've met. It's horrifying and fascinating. Tell me more. As the ship pulled away from the harbor, Arthur spotted a familiar face amongst the passengers on deck. So we met this lady already. Let's see if it's different. Edith. It wouldn't let me pass by. The girl had stepped away to watch the sea, transfixed on the deep blue that stretched towards the horizon. The sky had cleared. The sunlight now sparkled on the crashing waves. Arthur stood beside her quietly and gazed out as the ship slowly sailed away from shore. If he were a poet, he might have tried to describe the color of the sky or the depths of the waters breaking around them. But he only sighed and felt a little sorry that his sliding box camera hadn't fit in his case. Then, at least he didn't go to jail, I guess? Let's hope. Arthur H. Hope would succumb to consumptions within a decade? Are you serious? But only after writing a series of beloved mystery novels that featured a cunning detective and his unusual companion, a ghost. He became known for his odd habits, including carrying a sliding box camera with him and seemingly always talking to himself. His last words were supposedly a name, Edith. To his dying day, he never revealed just how he made the ghost appear in the photographs. Some believed they were simply real all along. Ending 4. Oh God, it's more than 3 endings. It's 4 of them. I just remembered in the extras, it said once we unlocked ending 4, we could come to the gallery. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. There has only been one thing in common between the people who could see and hear me, Mr. Hope. They all killed before. Arthur Hope wasn't always a charlatan. Once, he'd simply been a desperate man. Once. Now, that was no longer the case. Nobody looked twice at the well-dressed gentleman with twinkling blue eyes, even though he was far too young to need the heavy walking stick he carried as a trapeze, urn in hand, to the shore side. Could he have just not been, like, maybe a disabled person? Like, I'm just saying. There, he tossed the pile of ashes into the sea. Then he turned and walked back the way he came. I never killed anyone. So it's back here again. That part, it didn't let me skip past, so I was just reading it just in case. And technically, once again, it's not letting me skip it, so. I didn't kill him. Get out now and don't come back. I still need you. I'm done helping you. Done. The dead should stay dead. They should stay out of the affairs of the living, damn it. Haven't I given enough? Haven't I suffered enough? How much more are you going to take from me? The girl looked at him with hollow, empty eye sockets. Her mouth was set in what almost looked like an express of pity. When Arthur looked at her again, she was gone. Time passed and days moved on, much like they always had, but Arthur never completely forgot his ghostly visitor. Sometimes he imagined he could see her hollow face peeking from behind the doorway, or the corner of the frame of his sliding box camera. But the next moment, it was gone. Arthur's clients continued to visit him, seeking to soothe their sorrow and grief, and Arthur continued to provide what only he could. And he might have done so for a long time, if not for the one ghost that turned out to be quite alive. A distraught young woman had visited him after her beloved had died at sea. His ship sunk beneath the waves. Yet, a few weeks after his ghost portrait was taken, he turned up right at the beloved's doorstep, thin and haggard, but very much still breathing. It seemed that after his ship sank, the sailor miraculously washed up on a desert island. Oh, this is probably how he got caught. Where he survived off of kelp and rainwater for some weeks before finally being rescued. Soon people began to talk, and more inconsistencies in the spirit photographs came to be noticed, until finally one day an angry crowd formed at Arthur's doorstep. But by then, the confidence trickster had fled. Arthur Hope was never seen or heard from again. Indeed, the name Hope soon became forgotten as other so-called spiritualists and mediums followed in his footsteps, claiming to speak to the dead or hear otherworldly voices. Most of them were frauds. Not a saint few truly believed in their own powers, so desperate they were to speak to their departed loved ones. Edith pitied them more than she pitied the bloody ghost she passed by every now and then. Sorry, my phone was ringing. Ghosts like the man who once had devilish eyes and smiled shyly behind a sliding box camera. He dies either way, no matter what you do. He would appear from time to time in the window of the old house until it was destroyed, and then along the shore of the sea on nights when the fog rolled in. Edith knew that the living would never dare hope to hear the voices of the dead. If only they knew the sound of Arthur's Hope's blood-curdling screams. Ending 2. So we have 1, 2... I don't think we got 3. I don't think we got ending 3. So we have 1, 2, 4, and 5. We're missing 3. Let's go try to find 3. Editing voyia here. So some reason I saw 5, and I know how I got this. So I thought that I had 5 endings simply because I saw part 5, right? Remember when it was going into parts in the beginning? Yeah, so my brain mixed it up and was like, oh, that's 5 endings, and forgot that no, there were parts inside of it because I had to go through this over and over again to find out how to get the endings. So forgive me. I'm working on brain no work today. Okay, let's continue. So I had to go back and recheck my recording. I definitely got 1, which was the brother coming to visit us. 2, don't remember what 2 was. 3, 4, and 5. So I think I got all the endings. Hopefully there's only 5. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. And before I do my outro, I am going to go check and see if there's more than 5. Okay, so I just saw something that said there was only 4 endings, but I definitely think I saw ending 5. I'm not for sure. Voyia, put a text up because you're going to be editing Voyia. Do it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed A Portrait of a Ghost. And peace and love. Stay safe out there, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on your way out. And I'll call you guys later. Bye-bye.